Hey, what is going on, guys? This is SMEB Reviews, and today we're taking a look at the third album from Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness, titled Upside Down Flowers. Let's get to it. Real quick, I do want to plug my Twitter. It is down in the description below, just SMEB Reviews on Twitter. I just review a bunch of albums that I don't get a chance to make a formal video on, as well as just throw out my random thoughts on music, so go check it out. Andrew McMahon has put out so much quality music under this moniker. Both of his previous albums have been wonderful, and I've loved each of them. And I really do enjoy this brand of power piano pop. It works really well, and he knows perfectly how to tap into that sense of nostalgia. He does such an excellent job on creating so many wonderful songs, and I thoroughly was excited for this album. And honestly, the singles didn't really leave me feeling any differently. I really enjoyed most of them, and I was really stoked for Upside Down Flowers. And honestly, I think that I got exactly what I wanted. It's a really good album. Every track, again, blends his perfect way, his perfect knowledge of knowing how to tap into nostalgia, but yet still making it personal to him. Because when an album is said that it is something that anyone can relate to, there's a song for everyone on here, it kind of can leave a lot of people hesitant, because that means that the storytelling and the lyrics here are generic enough that anyone can apply it to their life. And while that can be seen as true, I don't feel Andrew McMahon really ever steps into that. Let's take a look at the two opening tracks. Teenage Rockstar and Ohio. Both tracks really focus on personal aspects of his life. Ohio focuses on him leaving Ohio and moving to California, and then Teenage Rockstar details him growing up and kind of skipping out on high school while still to be a rock star. And while most of us can't really relate to either of those things, it's something that yet still resonates with me personally, and I'm sure it does with many other people, because he tells it in such a perfectly constructed way. In Teenage Rockstar, we see him looking back. It's a reflective song of him watching his daughter playing in the yard and just reminiscing on the old times. Not necessarily longingly, because he does have a wonderful family. Just in a way that, hey, those were simpler times and I did enjoy it. And it's something that we all can relate to. And he kind of walks a fine line between joy and sorrow. Same thing on Ohio. We see him very optimistic when he says that recounts him moving from Ohio. And we see him walking that fine line of joy and sorrow again, and it's really excellently done. As someone who has not moved in their life, it's not something I can relate to, but yet it really does resonate with me, and it just shows that he knows how to make a song so intimately personal to him, yet so relatable to the general audience. This just shows his uncanny ability to create such lyrically sound songs, and that's not even to mention the instrumentation. Obviously, I did say that it's piano power pop, so we have a lot of really driving pianos, a lot of drums, and the occasional guitar when it's needed. And it really does work excellently. He knows his stuff, and he knows how to implement so many different instruments. Obviously, those are the ones that are reoccurring, but we do get strings and other instruments that add on to his sound, and he knows how to craft such perfect songs. Now, I have seen one minor complaint of being that the production mixes his voice a little further back, and honestly, I don't really ever mind it, because it's something that he's done before. He pulls his voice back and kind of puts it through a filter and lets the music shine at times, and I honestly doesn't bother me at all. I think it works really well, and I don't really feel there are many missteps on this album as a whole. Maybe a small nitpick is that there's a lot of mid-tempo songs, which don't always work too well, but his excellent sense of lyrical writing really pulls anything that would have been mediocre and just pulls it out of there. And it shows that he knows how to write a song, even though mid-tempo songs are harder to write, and he does an excellent job. Now, one song that does really hold me back is Blue Vacation. That is the only song on this album that I really just do not enjoy that much. It's not a terrible song, I will say that out front, but it just doesn't quite work. It's very clunky and industrialized, and that's sort of the point, as he's talking about paranoia and that that frantic nature that would come with it. It's obviously not perfect, it's not beautiful or serene, it's very clunky, and so I get the point of making this song a little more clunky. That being said, just because something's intentionally clunky doesn't make it good. It's still clunky, and it does not work for me. It's just a very dissonant song from the rest of the album, and I just don't really enjoy it. But besides that, honestly, the rest of this album is so solid. House in the Tree, This Wild Ride, both of those songs are incredibly powerful. One tells about his daughter and his love and how he will protect his daughter. And the other is talking about him missing friends that he's lost through his life. Something that's very relatable to people, but again, he makes it very personal to him. It's just one that we can relate to in the sense that we've all grown out of friends or lost people in our lives. And it's just another... It just is another showcase of his excellent lyrical writing ability. But the absolute climax of this album is Paper Rain. It's easily the best song on this album, as it has such a driving piano behind it. And during the verses, he talks about how he's going through a financial hardship, and he's obviously having a hard time having to sell off some of his goods, and he's having a hard time making deadlines for things. He talks about he might not make it to church, just showing he's missing deadlines due to him working so hard. But it shows that he's not giving up. It shows that he's dedicated and making sure that he does everything to provide for his family. And it's a really great song, but it climaxes absolutely in the chorus as the guitar comes in, showing his hope as he says that he is going to take this town and he is going to make it his. And it's an excellent use of the guitar because that guitar signals his hope in this song. And it shows that he never gives up and he's going to work for it. And that's excellent. It shows a good work ethic. And it's an absolutely wonderful song with many fun and witty lines. And he does an excellent job on this song. And another thing that I haven't even mentioned is that Andrew McMahon has an excellent voice. He's very good behind the mic. I really do enjoy his voice. It's different. It's not the typical beautiful voice that you would think of, but it works excellently, and it's very real and relatable. And that's just another showcase of how he is the perfect artist to make this sort of nostalgic music. Now, this album is not probably his absolute best, but it's still a really great album. It's just him trying to top an already amazing discography. So, that's not really saying much. It's still a really great album, and I thoroughly enjoyed it through all of it, besides Blue Vacation. And I really do enjoy this album. So, an 8.5, that sounds about right. 8.5 out of 10. That's when you get into my really best albums of all time. That's the pinnacle of music up there. So I did really enjoy this album. But what did you guys think of this album? Please let me know down below. Also, is there anything I can do to improve the quality of my videos? And as I mentioned, I do have a Twitter down below. Besides that, thank you guys so incredibly much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys later.